Okay, welcome to my channel. Now, I'm kind of upset because I just recorded this video. I just recorded 2 videos. I don't have any equipment because I'm used to I have a gaming channel with my brother, so I'm not used to having to record something straight in front of me. I don't have my equipment because I just moved somewhere. And I have to record off my phone right now. I have the phone facing vertically. And it's supposed to be horizontal because then when I upload it, it's only going to be like, you're going to see this much of me. So now we're going to try again. This is a good story time. This is how I want to start off my channel. This is a story of how I became comfortable in my skin. I would say from the time I was in middle school and early high school, I always had an issue with how dark my skin is. Now, I know some of you are saying you're not even that dark. I'm not. I don't care if I was. Like, that's where I am now. But before I was like, I didn't want to be this dark. And it wasn't because I necessarily was getting bullied. It was just because the people around me were getting bullied. I was the type of person, I was just quiet. I was the quiet, shy, nice girl. So nobody really messed with me like that. Not saying if you were loud, you would get bullied, but that's just how it was. I wasn't getting bullied because I really didn't. I talked to my friends, but I didn't really talk to people like that. I'm still kind of like that. And so it was me seeing my closest, longest, dearest friend get bullied. She's a dark skinned girl, and she got it so bad. And this was through elementary, all through high school. She got it so bad. And not just her, but other people who were dark skinned. And me seeing that made me feel some type of way about my skin complexion. I didn't get bullied, but seeing other people around me who look like me get bullied for it made me feel some type of way about myself, which wasn't fair, but that was life, right? It was black people doing the bullying, with the whole oil monkeys, tar babies, turn the lights off. Oh, where are they? Type of jokes, which weren't funny, but they thought that was so clever. And so, yeah, just hearing that stuff all throughout my childhood, not with me, but other people, even when you will watch certain shows and movies, there would be kind of like innuendo jokes about that. And so it just made me feel some type of way about myself, a lot of self-hatred. It even got to the point where I would only really have crushes and like guys that were light skinned or mixed. Like, I would only like people who were light skinned or mixed because, I'm in middle school, but it would be because, oh, I don't want to have babies that are dark skinned as if I'm about to have a child in middle school or high school. But it was that type of thinking. And it's crazy because nowadays I will see guys who are dark skinned say the exact same thing, like, oh, I don't like her because she's dark skinned and I don't want to have no dark babies. And that would make me so mad to hear. But then I sit here and think about it. It's because they were probably bullied. They were probably bullied for their skin complexion, and it stay stuck with them all the way to their adulthood, to the point where they're just like, well, I don't want to have dark skinned kids, even though they're dark skinned, even though their mother's dark skinned, their grandmother's dark skinned. It's that self hate because they were bullied for it. Which I understand, but that's not healthy. Not healthy, not okay, not healthy. It's the difference between preference and self hatred. If your preference isn't for people who look like you, to me, in my opinion, that has everything to do with how you look at yourself. But that's besides the point. So yeah, I would just kind of wish I was light skinned. Like, I even had a best friend in middle school who was light skinned. She was a light skinned girl. And she just, when we would go out, you would just see the difference in how guys would interact with us. Like, the type of attention she got, I never got. It was like I was just brushed to the side, like I wasn't even there. It'd be a whole group of guys that would come up to us just because of her. And the way they interacted with her was so much different than me. I was just ignored completely. I wasn't even there to them. Or they would want to talk to her. And of course, if they have a friend, they're going to be like, okay, well, you talk to her. And I remember, I'll never forget, we were at a football game and it was two dudes and it was me and her. And we went to the football game and they approached us because obviously we went to the football game together, and they were talking to her. And then the guy was like, well, you can go talk to me while he talked to her. And he was like, hell nah. And I'm like, the dude was like, I'm not gonna, maybe he just wasn't attracted to me, but I feel like it was because of skin complexion, because they both walked up for her. It was pretty obvious. And so, and that wasn't the only time that's happened. So it just kind of, that didn't help my self-esteem either. It was just like, I kind of got used to it, which is sad to say. And I don't know. It bothered me at first. It really made me think about myself a certain way. Like my self-esteem was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. And it only solely focused on my skin complexion. And so, yeah, the more I grew up, the more I was like, okay, I don't like being dark skinned. I would avoid being in the sun for too long. I hated summertime. I hated summertime. And it's because I didn't like getting darker in the summertime, because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is making me look ugly. And I hate even thinking that I thought about stuff like that. But yeah, I hated to be out in the summer. I would stay in the freaking house as much as I could. And I don't know, the older I got, that just started to fade away. The more negative things that I would hear about people of darker skin complexions, the less sad it made me and the more mad it made me. Because it's like, what's wrong with it? It's beautiful. Black is beautiful, right? So I don't know. I just started to stray away from that type of thinking of, oh, because I'm a Black woman, I'm ugly. And I'll never forget when I took a English one-on-one class in my later high school years, and we had to write a paper. I don't remember what the subject of the paper had to be, like what the assignment was, but I remember what I wrote. And I wrote about my journey with getting comfortable in my skin, with my skin complexion. And I wrote like examples like Michelle Obama. Back in that time, it was Gabby Douglas. Today is Simone Biles, but Gabby Douglas, Gabrielle Union, like women of darker skin complexions, Black women, Black beautiful women who are doing the damn thing. Like they are doing excellent in life, at least from the outside looking in, but they're doing excellent. They have thousands, millions of people who love them, who think they're gorgeous, who wish they are. And that just really helped also boost my self-esteem with my complexion. Because, okay, there are people who don't hate Black women. There are people who actually appreciate and love Black women. And so after writing that paper, even before writing that paper, I was getting past the idea of, oh, I'm too dark. Oh, I'm ugly because of my skin complexion. But until I wrote that paper, it didn't really hit me how far I had grown, because the way I was thinking before, early high school, middle school, was I'm ugly because of this, that, and the third, and my friend and my cousin and she and her, and they're pretty because they're lighter. I had really strayed away from that type of thinking. And my teacher, who was also a dark-skinned woman, she reviewed my paper and she gave me feedback on it, and she loved it too. And I ended up getting a really good grade on it, but it just shows that other people relate to it. And also, when I went off to college, and you would come home for break or whatever, I come home for summer break, and it was during the pandemic. So 2020, they cut our semester short. Well, they didn't cut it. I still had school, but classes was online. We just had to go home. I went home and, everything was closed. We were on quarantine. We had curfew. So I couldn't go to the gym. I would work out in the yard. And I would work out in the yard. And I would also help my mom cut grass each week in the yard. And I would work out Monday through Friday. So I was outside pretty much a lot. And we were in the South, so it was hot. Like high 90s, touching 100, probably 100 degrees. I'm running outside, no sunscreen. That was not safe. That's not smart. Wear sunscreen. But I remember I was running one day and it was so hot. I was sweating, and the way I sweat, to me is not normal. I sweat so bad. It could be a 70-degree day and I'm drenched in sweat like I was running. But it was very hot outside, and I was thinking like, I'm gonna end up with a tan out here. The way I've been running, I know for sure I'm darker, and I love it. I literally thought like, dang, I love it. I love it. I actually do love it. And it took me a long time to get to that point. It was a lot of self-reflection. I was out there running in that freaking heat. But I just remember thinking like, before, I would not be doing this. I would not be doing this at all. I would be avoiding, ducking the sun, honey. In the car, in the house, I am not staying outside. But now I'm out here really just soaking in the UV rays. And I don't care if I get darker. I would like it. So it took me so long to get to that point. But now I'm at the point where it's like, there is nothing under the sun, above the sun, around the sun, on this earth, on this planet, on the internet, that you can say to me that's gonna stir me up about my skin complexion. Is nothing. That's how hard body I'm standing in it now. And it wasn't an easy journey. It wasn't a quick journey, but it was like, once you're there, you're there. Once you're there, you're there. Your feet are planted. You are just confident in it. And it's really nothing anybody can say to me at this moment about being a Black woman. Of course, there's other aspects of myself that I still want to grow in that same confidence with. But that was a big, big part of my low self-esteem. So I'm better. I'm 23, and I feel like if little 12-year-old me can see me now, she would freaking shed a tear because she would wonder, how the hell did you get there? But I'm hearing it and I'm proud of it. And I share this story because I want other little girls, little Black girls, hell, Black girls my age, older Black girls, Black women. I'm a woman now. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this helps you to see that you're not alone. You're not the only one who thinks like that. And and I want you to see that things do get better. It won't always be like that. And once you get to the point where no comment bothers you, that is going to be the best feeling ever. And I promise you that. I really do promise you that. But yeah, that's my story. I want you to comment down below your story. I just share it with me. I'm gonna absolutely read it and I'll reply to you. And also like and subscribe if you like this content. There will be more to come. And yeah, until next time, bye.